So good morning to one and all. So we joined your live class, and today we'll be dealing with the last lesson from your main course book. So Chaitanya, good afternoon. Good morning, Namaste, Shubham, Jiten, Anushka, Sakshi. So quickly, join your live class, and this is the last lesson that I'll be teaching you today. Okay. So we'll take it, I think, for a day or two. So am I audible, Jitan? Arya Tapase? Am I audible? Sanika, you just text me whether I'm audible to you or not. Okay, very good. So thank you very much. And you see it, before we come to the text, let me tell you in brief about the summary of this particular story, Peking. Okay. So Peking one, this is the last lesson that I'm teaching you. Okay. Again and again I am informing you, and then your syllabus will be over, and then the complete syllabus for your final assessment will be given. Okay, and after this lesson we will be going in detail each and every lesson and poem, even some grammar portion also we'll discuss. Okay, see when we will discuss the brief summary of Becky. Summary part. So this is the story about three friends. If you go through the text, then you will find three friends over there. So Peking is a story about three friends who are getting ready to go for a journey. Okay. Normally it happens that if you are planning for any trip, then you will surely go on Peking. Okay, you will get your things packed and then you will set out your journey. So Peking is a story about three friends who are getting ready to go for a journey. And this particular summary that I'm right now presenting before you, okay, it will help you to understand the story in a very simplified form. The story in nutshell I am telling you, which will surely help you to understand it. So later on, when you come to the text, then you will be able to understand it. It is a very simple story, nothing it is there. It is simply all about packing the things and what happens in the process of packing, what are the disturbances created over there, whether they are able to pack their things in a proper way or not, what happens in the process of packing, that you will get to. So it follows the packing session of three friends. And who are the three friends that are mentioned in your text? The writer, Jerome, number one. Number two, Harris, his friend. And George, number three. So these three friends, the story will revolve around these three friends. Okay, these three are involved in packing, and what happens while packing? They are planning to go for a journey, and they all are involved in packing. And what happens over there? That very interesting thing happens over there, and it begins with them starting the most important thing for a journey, that is packing. That is why the title of the lesson also is given packing one. And one information that I would like to provide you to all that this particular story, Baking One, this is an extract taken from Three Men in a Boat by Zeom Kizion. The writer is the writer, and one book it is there, Three Men in a Boat. Three men in a boat. Clear? Written by the writer Zeom Kizion. Okay, the full name Zeom Kizion. Okay, so Three Men in a Boat. This is the storybook name written by Zeom, and this particular piece of writing, Baking One, this is considered an extract here. Clear? And a child should understand what is the meaning of paraphrase also. Like this, suppose paraphrase, can anyone tell me paraphrase? Sandhya Balchandani, can you tell me what is paraphrase? Paraphrase. OSP, can you tell me what is the meaning of paraphrase? Yes, anyone? Subham? Sabari Roto, what is the meaning of paraphrase? Like that in poetry, Shubham, you must have understood that in poetry you are given a stanza. Okay, one stanza will be given. In poetry, when we read the poetry section, so all of you find stanza. So things are given in stanza. Okay, first stanza, second stanza, third stanza. Okay, so when even in poetic way it will be given. Okay, so when we explain the stanza, okay, in writing prosaic form, then you can call it paraphrase. The explanation part. If I explain any stanza, then if I write it in prose format, prosaic format. Okay, so that can be noted as paraphrase. Simply, this same thing you can find in poetry also, this same thing you can find in lesson also. Clear? So Three Men in a Boat, this is the story written by Zeom Kizium, and Baking One, this is an extract given from that. And in this story, is the narrator himself and writes about the experiences he has while his friends they decide to start baking. And further, it takes on a very hilarious ride about three adults who struggle to do on a basic thing as baking. Normally, Subham, you tell me when you pack your things, do you involve lots of people or you yourself is enough? Normally, when the term packing it comes to you, then I don't think that so many people need to be involved. A single person can do it. Because there is a proverb in English that too many cooks spoil the broth. There is one proverb in English, too many cooks spoil the broth. If you are assigned to do a little task, then don't involve so many people over there. Otherwise, they will spoil it. A simple packing one, a very simple task is assigned to three of them. But you see that how they are spoiling the work also. So let us see it. So Zion, Harris, and George, they are ready to set out their journey. They start begging for it, and being the narrator, Zion describes how the begging experience went. And we can see that Zion is quite confident with his packing skill as he handles it all alone. While in reality, he wishes to simply supervise the packing session while making his friends do the work under him. And however, they listen to him and let him handle it all by himself while they sit and relax. This does not impress Jung, nonetheless, it gets to it. Jung, the writer, he himself is a good packer. He knows how to packing. But what he did actually in the story, he simply wanted to supervise the packing session. But the reverse happened while making his friends to do the work under him. But both of them, George and Harris, what they planned, instead of packing, the packing task was assigned to them. But instead of packing, they both sat in a very idle way, and the work it was finally done by the writer. So finally, after a long time, the packing session, he packs the bag up while his friends watch him while he do all the work soon. Harris tells him about the shoes that he didn't pack. The writer was thinking that everything is packed, but Harris, the friend, tells him about the shoes that he didn't pack, and Jeong will have to reopen the bag to make space for them. And already they have chained it very tightly also after packing. Everything is packed already. There is no space left out. And Harris reminds him that, oh, my dear friend, you see that the shoes you have not packed. Now Zoom will have to reopen the bag and to make some space for them. Thus, after learning about the shoes, Zoom remembers his toothbrush also that he had not packed. So many funny incidents you will find in the story. If you read the story, then so many funny incidents are there. And normally it happens also that while we are packing the things, we pack the major things, but we are not so attentive to pack some little things like toothbrush or any handkerchief. So it happens. Normally it has happened with me also many times. I don't know whether it has happened with you or not. So Subham, have you got such kind of experience that while packing the things you forget to pack even little things, and later on you remind them, oh sorry, actually I had to forget. Sorry, I had to pack this that particular one. So has it happened with anyone else? Yes, Arya Tapasin. So when you pack the things, suppose you are planning for any trip and already you have packed the things, and after a while you remember that something is forgotten. Has it happened with you, Arya Tapasin? Yes, it happens with everyone. And these similar things when Harris reminds him that Ziom, you have forgotten to pack your shoes. Then at the same time, he also remembers that, oh, sorry, I have to reopen the bag to make some space for them. And I have done one very great mistake also that even I forgot to pack my toothbrush also. I have not packed. So in order to find it, he empties the whole just for one toothbrush. And sometimes it happens that the way you have packed, the way you have pulled the chain over there, there is chances that it can be damaged also if you reopen it. So even for the single small toothpaste, he had to reopen it, and after reopening, what is happening? You see, he finds it inside a boot and packs the bag. When Xiaomi is reopening the bag, he finds that inside the boot the toothpaste is there. Then again he has to take a lot of trouble to again pull the chain and to pack it. So after that, you can see also one more query arises for the soap by George. So toothpaste scene it is over, then soap it comes. SOAP soap for bathing purpose. So after that, you can see that one more query arises from the soup by George. Consequently, that irritates Zion so much that he doesn't pay heed to it and packs the bag away. Anyway, George reminds the writer that, oh, sorry, my dear friend, just you reopen the bag once more because we have to pack. So also we have forgotten. Consequently, that particular incident it irritates the writer so much that he doesn't pay any attention to it, and he packs the bag anyway. And however, to his mistake, he has to reopen it again due to his spectacles being locked inside the bag. See how funny incidents are happening over here, occurring. George once again reminded him, already the writer had opened it once more. George once more asking him to open it, because he has to keep his soap. But the writer is denying. But the writer has to open once more because he has kept spectacles which is being locked inside the bag. And this packing session finally it concludes at 10 o'clock since morning. So much time they have taken. See, normally I don't take much time while baking. Minimum 5 to 10 minutes I take while baking. I don't know how much time you take. But you see, the whole baking session finally it was over at 10 o'clock. So much long time. So we see that after taking such a long time to bake, Zeom's other two friends packed the hampers themselves to show him how it actually done. However, they are also similarly break so many things, including a cob into pieces. Further, they quest tomatoes and thread out butter while also smashing the pies. So many funny incidents are occurring. You see, they are passing through funny moments. And in addition, there is salt flying here also, and they are during this process. So after much chaos, confusion, they try to put the things back in order. And however, it is not as successful as their pet dog also. Another character it is there also you can study while reading the textbook. There is there is one pet dog named Montmorency. Another character, three individual characters you are given, and another pet dog is there also in writer's home. At writer's home, you can see the name of the pet dog is Montmorency. And he sits on things meant to be baked and climbs into the jam as well as processed lemons as if they were rats. So the dog is very much, I think, irritating these three of them. But finally, the final packing ends around 12:50 in the night. And after a tiring packing session, they decide the time to get up for the next morning. And George dozes off before engaging in these conversations. See, if you don't sleep and you have to travel, then you will feel sleepy also. See, morning, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, suppose you are planning to go somewhere else, and if you start going, or if you just go on packing up to 1 o'clock night, then you won't get chance to sleep. And finally, you will feel very much sleepy, you will start dozing off. And in the end, Zoom and Harris marks 6:30 as the wake up time, and they go up to sleep. And finally, they all go up to sleep. So very funny things happens over there. So if you read the text, so another 2 minutes I'll take. You just say, just wait for a minute. Suppose if we go with the story, then you see first of all one thing you have to study all of you, that how many characters are there in the narrative, and we have to name them. Don't forget even the dog also that we mentioned at the end of the story. The dog's name was Montmorency. So there are four characters in the narrative, including the dog. Okay, how many characters are there in this narrative? Four characters. Zion, the writer himself, Harris, George, and finally the dog. Four characters are there in this narrative. And they are the narrator, George, Harris, and the fourth one is the dog named Montmorency. Now, one very interesting thing I will ask you: why do you think that the narrator Zoom voluntarily starts packing, or why did the narrator Zoom volunteer to do the packing? This is very interesting thing. So, Subham, can you tell me why did the narrator? Does he have lots of experiences? Does he have better experiences than both of them, like George and Harris? Do you think the narrator has a very good experience in packing? Why did the narrator Zoom volunteer to do the packing? Yes, Subham, can you tell me why? Anyone, somebody, can you tell me why did the narrator volunteer to do the packing? The narrator was first of all thinking that the packing task should be given to both of my friends, Harris and George, but how he himself did it. It means my question is that why did the narrator Zoom volunteer to do the packing? Because the narrator felt that he knew more about packing than any other person living. Moreover, he would get an opportunity to watch the job, and George and Harris would do the job under his directions. Did you understand? So from the initial, he was thinking that I have to volunteer the packing. He wanted that he will allow both of the friends to be involved in the process of packing. But what happened? The reverse happened. Harris and George, instead of doing packing, a lot of funny incidents occurred. You must have seen they all have both of them have really disturbed. They have irritated the writer. Okay, instead of taking, they are simply wasting time. Harris and George in the process of taking. If you go through the text, then throughout the story, both Harris and George they have wasted really the time, and they have really created much trouble. And the writer is finally fed up of happening the incidents over there. And finally, he involves himself. He involves in the process of baking, and he had to do all baking. Moreover, he would get an opportunity. He wanted actually the writer wanted to get an opportunity to boss the job or to guide them, George and Harris, and they both of them would do the job under his direction. But it didn't happen. And you see, what is the reaction of George and Harris? How did George and Harris react to this, and did Zion like this, like their reaction? George and Harris they accepted the narrator's suggestion readily, but Zion didn't like it. What was the writer's real intention when he offered to pack? The writer's real intention was to guide both of them to boss the job. And he wanted that Harris and George should work under his guidance and instructions. But they accepted the proposal, and what they did, they sat idle very lazily on the chairs comfortably. So sometimes it happens that as I mentioned you that if you are a good packer, then you don't involve so many people over there. The writer himself knows that I can do, and it's a very smaller task for the writer to do baking. But the writer wanted that I have to supervise the work. The work should be done under me. I should guide them only. But you see what happened over there? They created very funny moments over there, funny incidents over there. And Harrison just in spite of indulging themselves in the process of baking, they created more trouble for the writer. And this incident also you just see that in your textbook. What did Harris say that after the bag was shot and strapped? Why do you think he wanted to till? Sorry, why do you think he waited till then to ask? Harris asked the writer, first of all, Harris asked the writer to put the boots in the bag after stripping the bag. He did it also with an intention to initiate the writer. And very horrible idea occurred to Zion a little later that Zion was going to close the bag after putting the boots in. First of all, they forgot the boots. So after keeping the boots, they locked. Then Zion was going to close the bag after putting the boots in, and he suddenly thought that the toothpaste brush it was left out. Again, they have to reopen the bag. So toothbrush it is very essential while traveling. So he must needed the toothbrush which he packed in the bag. Now he had to search for it in the bag. Okay, and the toothbrush it was inside the boot also. See, so many funny incidences you will find in the textbook. So if you just read the textbook, you will get to know it. So tomorrow we'll go through the text just in a superficial way. I just explain all this in Notion. You must have got the summary part. So you must be getting an idea what might be there in the story. So you all should read the storybook today. See, don't simply tomorrow you listen to the story. So we'll go through the line by line of the text. So till that time, you just also come prepared. Okay, read the story once more. This is simply all about baking. So, Three Men in a Boat, this is the story written by Zio Kizio. The full name of the writer is Zio Kizio. And Taking One, this is an excerpt taken from this particular story. And overall idea you must have got about the story here. Okay. So tomorrow what you have to do, you all come prepared. Read the storybook tonight. Because I might ask you some question also. Don't simply listen to the story. So listen and understand also. So you read and understand, and I hope that you all are independent readers. So you all have to read the text and get an idea and come and join the class tomorrow. Okay, so thank you very much, all of you, for joining today's class. Thank you very much, all of you. So don't forget to read the text tonight. Okay, so all of you read and come prepared. Okay, thank you very much.